Right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to 1 Minute Collocations number 9. And this is actually the second class talking about news. So last time we talked about news, we talked about political headlines. And today we're talking about news reports. Next time we will answer some activities on news as well. So here we go. Today we have too many collocations, and we will not do the real life examples this time because the class is going to take us a bit of time. So this is an anchorman, and if you know what an anchorman does, he actually read the news on TV. Okay, so I'll be your anchorman tonight. I will read the news, and all the collocations that we are going to talk about are highlighted, or I should say bold-faced, right? Written in boldface here. We will go to the next page and we will see what each one of them means. Some of them you will know, most of them you will know actually, some of them you may not know. Then we will come back here to read the news again. So the class is going to be a bit long. All right, so there we go. The police have been carrying out a nationwide search for 22-year-old Chris Tate, who has not been seen since trouble broke out on Sunday night at the hotel where he was working. This evening, they announced that they have found some vital clues, but there are currently no plans to call off the search. And the second headline. Following the robbery of over $10 million from its main city branch, the bank has offered a substantial reward for anyone providing information leading to the recovery of the money. Management and workers at the troubled Longside car factory have finally agreed to enter into talks, and hopes are growing that they may soon reach agreement. The dispute arose some weeks ago when the management tried to introduce new working conditions. Workers have held demonstrations in the city in support of Longside staff. Management described the situation as a test of strength, and union attempts to negotiate a settlement have so far proved unsuccessful. However, an independent arbitrator has acted as a go-between and has succeeded in brokering an agreement to talk. And the last one, TV chiefs have bowed to public pressure and have entered into an agreement not to show scenes of gun violence on primetime television. They will hold a press conference later today where they will explain their decision to impose this degree of censorship. Okay, that was a bit too many. That's about 20 new collocations. So let's see what they mean, and then we'll come back here to read again. And hopefully by the time we come back here, you will feel more comfortable listening to the news. This is actually, guys, the kind of language that you actually hear on the news. So if you learn this lesson, and if you attend a couple of more lessons like this, then you will listen to CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, all of those, and you will be better able to understand the news. So let's take a look at what we have. So color-coded here to make it easy for you to follow up because there are too many. The first one is nationwide search, and a bit that was pretty much clear. It's like searching everywhere in the country for the young man. Now, trouble broke out. Now, notice, problems started to happen, but the word broke out doesn't only mean start. It's actually used for unpleasant things, like if we are talking about problems and troubles and outrages and stuff. Now, vital means extremely important, and clues like information. So vital clues about where that person, Tate, is. Now, call off means cancel. So call off the search means stop searching. Substantial means very large, right? And reward is actually money that you get because you're a good boy at school. Money that you get because you did something good. Now, recovery of the money is getting that money back, right? Because it was stolen, if you remember the news. Now, enter into means to make an official agreement to do or to start something. So enter into talks means to start talking. I think it's down here, enter into an agreement. So make an official agreement to agree, basically. Okay, that's why I didn't write the definition here. Now, reach an agreement is like you both agree on something and you will actually go ahead and do it. Now, dispute is an agreement. That's called a dispute, like between two countries, between the union and the owners of the factory. That's called a dispute. So it's a serious disagreement. And arose, this is how we pronounce it. It's the past form, arise. Arose means began. Now, hold demonstrations, when people go out, take to the street and they hold signs and they say, we want this, we want that. That's called a demonstration. So hold or like have demonstrations. A test of strength. If you remember the owners of the factory, they said this is a test of strength. And we will see now that test of strength in the text means they don't want to agree to the demands of the workers. So a test of strength means the workers are testing our strength and we are really, really strong. Strength is the noun from strong, from the adjective strong. Everybody knows strong. So that means they will not listen to the workers. Now, negotiate or negotiate. Negotiate, everybody knows, it's like, discuss formally, discuss something. A settlement is like an agreement, a settlement. So this is how we use these two together, negotiate, a settlement. Now, act as a go-between. Now, look at this. This is a very nice word in English. Between is like here, and go-between. So act and go-between, like these two parties are disagreeing, basically, and you go between them to make things up between them. So act as a go-between is like to take message from people who don't want to talk to each other. So take a message from this person, give it to this person, or message from this person to give it to this person. This means act as a go-between. Kind of like when you and your wife fight, and then you call your young child and you tell him to go tell mama something. That child is acting actually as a go-between. Now, broker. Now, without the ing, a broker has two meanings. A broker is a person who sells and buys shares in like stock market. That's a broker. Now, as a verb, brokered, brokering means arrange. And this is an official word used like between countries and in our case here, a dispute between the workers and the owners of the factory. So brokering an agreement means arranging an agreement. So this guy, the arbitrator who is acting as a go-between, he brokered an agreement. Now, bow, bow, it's like doing this, like Japanese people do. So bow to pressure means you give into. Give into means to agree to do something that you did not want to do from the beginning. Give in to, like your children want to go out and you tell them, no, I'm tired, but it's a weekend, daddy. So at the end, you bow to pressure or you give in to their demands and you take them out. It's like give in to your children. Enter into an agreement. We talked about this. I'm pretty sure that this is new to many of you. Prime time is like peak time. Sometimes they call it peak time. Prime time is like the time where many people are watching television. So most popular time of the day for watching TV. So we have prime time television. We have prime time radio as well. Okay, so it's called primetime television. Now, hold a press conference. I'm pretty sure that you know what a press conference is, but if we explain later, it's like when presidents of countries, invite people, reporters from different newspapers, and they ask them questions, and the presidents of the countries, answer. That's called a press conference. Press means, like newspapers and television channels and stuff. So hold a press conference is like have a meeting with newspaper reporters to answer the questions. And the last one, impose. Impose is like force, like, do something, and other people are not happy with it or you are not happy with it. So impose, so force. Now, censorship, as you know, some movies, have some scenes that are, they have violence or they have, content that might not be morally correct and stuff. So force films to remove anything wrong. So these are the collocations for today. Now, the thing is, because I can see that, Some people are here with me tonight. Thank you for coming, everybody. If you did not come to class before, then one thing you might want to learn is it's not just about, knowing the meaning of the words. You have to know these words used, how they are used together. So maybe the word substantial, for example. The word reward, but nobody told you before that these words substantial, reward, are used together. And this is what collocations, and as you can see from the title here, 1 minute collocation. So collocations is not really just telling you about words that but it's telling you about words that must be used together. Not must, but they usually are used together. Now we can read this again and we can understand it better now. And I will give you some of my notes. I wrote some notes for you as well. So now the police have been carrying out a nationwide search. Now notice that we say carry out a search. Carry out a search, like do a search. So this is a collocation as well, right? So I will be giving you stuff like this. The police have been carrying out a nationwide search for 22-year-old Chris Tate, who has not been seen since trouble broke out now, Saturday night at hotel where he's working. This evening, they announced that they have found some vital clues. Now, notice that we use the word announce when we're talking about officials. So they didn't use the word said here. They used the word announced, right? So this is another thing. Vital clues, but there are currently no plans to call off the search. Another one here. Following the robbery of over $10 million from its main city branch, following is like coming after. So see how this is used. And let me give you a little bit of grammar. This here, following the robbery of blah, 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 that's called the phrase. It's actually called the participle phrase, but that's a different story. That's grammar. Now, following the robbery of $10 million from its main city branch, the bank has offered substantial reward for anyone providing information leading to the recovery of the money. Now, offer a reward. So notice, if you want to say reward, what verb do you use? You use the word offer. And provide information, not give information. It would be better to say provide information because this is more formal. Now, remember, all of this is in the news, so the language here is kind of formal. Not very formal, but kind of formal. Now, this here, I have a couple of other things other than the idioms here to tell you about. Management and workers at the Troublelong car factory finally agreed to enter into talks, and hopes are growing that they may soon reach an agreement. Hopes are growing. You might want to highlight this. Hopes are growing. The dispute arose some weeks ago when the management tried to introduce new working conditions. Now, look at this. Introduce new working conditions. So if they want to change the rules and regulations in the factory, that we call this introduce new working conditions. Now, workers have held demonstrations in the city in support alongside staff. Management described the situation as a test of strength, and union, now describe the situation, not said that this is a test of strength. See how the language can change? Instead of saying management said that this is a test of strength, no. Management described the situation as a test of strength. And union attempts to negotiate the settlement have so far proved unsuccessful. Not where unsuccessful. This would be even, more advanced to say prove unsuccessful. However, an independent arbitrator. What does an arbitrator mean? Does anybody know from my hosts here? Been talking for quite some time. It would be lovely to hear from you.
Yes, Mr. Muhammad.
What does arbitrator mean, sir?
I think a kind of lawyer.
Excellent. Yes, a judge, actually.
Yeah, a judge, yeah.
Yes, very good. That's what an arbitrator is. So an independent arbitrator means he is not one of the management and he is not one of the workers, and he is independent. So an independent arbitrator, arbitrate is a verb, arbitrator with an O, not with an E, is the person, like driver, for example, has acted as a go-between and has succeeded in brokering an agreement to talk. Now, the last one, not much really to say about it. TV chiefs have bowed to public pressure. Now, not listen to demands, but bow to public pressure and have entered into an agreement not to show scenes of gun violence on primetime television. You'll hold a press conference later today. They'll explain the decision to impose degree of censorship. So we have read this twice, as I said. Hopefully you have a deeper understanding of it now. And hopefully you have noticed now how this language is different from what you might be the way you might be speaking. And this is how you should be writing in English, using this kind of language. Not only the collocations in boldface, but other collocations like proved unsuccessful, for example, and other things that I talked to you about. Now, if you came to this class before, you know that I give real life examples, but I knew this class was going to be extra long. So I will give you the real life examples next time in the revision class. Next time, actually, because we have done 2 classes so far on the language used in news. So next time we will do revision and we will answer exercises. So get ready for the class. You have to watch 1 minute collocations number 9 and 1 minute collocations number 8 as well to be prepared for 1 minute collocations number 10. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me here tonight. People who have left, thank you very much. I didn't catch your names. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Ali. And don't forget that every week we have 3 free classes, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Saturday, 1 minute grammar, Sunday, 1 minute idioms, and today, 1 minute collocations. If you did like this, share it with your friends. If you have any questions, all my accounts are here. You can ask me any questions you want, and you can leave the comments here. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Assalamu
Mr.
alaikum.
Khan.